The next thing I'd like to do is add a live video camera, which is going to come up onto the big screen. Now, in order to do that, I first of all want to stop everything that's running, because before my camera comes up, I don't want it to go straight in from this video. Let's suppose I want to talk to the audience a moment. So let's add a fade out, which is the final of our transitions. And when that fade out is finished, I want it to do nothing. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to make sure the fade out is also selecting the right group. So that will be the vortex, and actually we don't need it to fade out anything else out within that group. So now, just to quickly preview that and check where we are, if I were to play, then I do have this logo with this other thrilling music. And now that will fade into our little vortex here. And if I hit go again, that will actually fade out everything. And now I have nothing running. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a camera. So here we go. Under the tracks, we have the option of audio, image, video, and here is the camera. Now here on the camera, you can see we have the similar settings that we would have on any of the media. We can choose when the camera track starts, whether it wants to start the next cue, when it ends. Here we've got the position of the camera. You can choose the front or rear facing camera. And also if you have an iPhone model that allows you to choose between different lenses, you can choose between the ultra wide or wide lens here. We have an exposure filter, which we'll deal with more in following videos. Here, if you're a magician, I'm a magician, but you may be any kind of performer, but if you're going to plan to put more than one camera in the show, you might want to title the camera so that you know what it is. So in this case, I might want to know that this is Cam 1. So I'm going to just put in Cam 1 all as one word there. And now that is my camera selected, I've selected the right lens. So now if I were to preview that in a moment, which I will, you'll see it will come out the back. I'm going to have to lift the phone up slightly to allow us to do that. But I don't want the camera just to come snap straight in. So we are actually going to add a transition, a fade in for that camera. So here we go. We're going to take the camera's fade in and drop it to here. The layers that we keep going on about do not affect the camera. The camera is running in the background anyway, so it's not part of the layering system, so you don't need to worry too much about that. This is the fade in, which is going to apply the fade to the camera automatically because it's ahead of it. And now if we can bear that music one more time, you'll see here we have our thrilling track. And that's going to fade out to our vortex. And now the next time this show is cued, it's going to fade this all out. Now at this point, it will do nothing because I haven't fired the next cue yet. But when I fire the next cue, that will bring up the camera, which you can see is being represented here. Now, if I were to turn this phone on its side, it will change the view. More about the preview of how this all looks when you're playing the show later. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. But that is how you apply a camera cue and all the fade cues to iQue Pro.